Big news on the horizon for the Green Bay Packers. What is that? I'm going to cover it in this video. Before I do, if you like the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so let's jump into what's the big news for the Green Bay Packers. It is right here. Packers are expected to be cutting left tackle David Bakhtiari. Some of you might be saying out there, oh my gosh, how is that big news? We knew that was coming. No, nobody really knew whether or not the Packers were going to be cutting him, whether they were going to be keeping him, whether they were going to be trading him. There was a whole lot of uncertainty to this. But here's the great news for the Green Bay Packers. Two things, okay? One, it adds a whole lot of cap space, cap room for the Green Bay Packers. Also, two, I mean, because this is a cap broke team at the moment. The Packers don't have a whole lot of cap space. They're one of the lowest cap space teams in the league. Okay, so that being said, this is going to free up a whole lot of money. We're going to talk about that in this video, how much money that is that free up for the Packers to be able to go out and maybe restructure deals, be able to go and sign some free agents, all of that good stuff, right? Second thing is that it brings solidity to an unknown situation. Okay, so if you recall when we had Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers was saying year after year, kind of stringing the Packers along of, man, am I going to retire? Am I not going to retire? Do I want to get traded? All of those question marks because he and Brian Gutekunst were getting along. There was just so many question marks surrounding Aaron Rodgers, and I feel like that same thing is happening with David Bakhtiari on a less diva-ish front. Okay, so this is just surrounding solely around David Bakhtiari's health, right? This guy had 5 surgeries on the same knee, leaving you to think, can this dude even play 3/4 of a season at best? Let alone a full season. And when you're pouring that much money into a player, you expect him to be out in the football field and just leading that group. But you can't rely on it. It's honestly, it would be the odds of Bakhtiari playing a full season would be like winning the lottery at this point. So he has missed a total of 45 games since the 2020 December knee injury. That is a whole lot. And if you remember heading into last season, he gave the Packers so much optimism. Okay. He was just like, man, my knee is healthy. It's feeling super great. I feel the best shape I've been in with this knee. And then how long did that last? One game. We got one game out of Bakhtiari last season before he goes. And it was just like, if you remember, it was just day to day. Is this guy going to be playing? Is he not going to be playing? And then another surgery, all of that stuff. But one thing we do know is when we start talking solidity to the line is that the Green Bay Packers no longer will have to doubt or think, man, is Bakhtiari coming back? We can, of course, he's going to be the starter if he's healthy. But then it's just like, how long is that going to last before Rasheed Walker takes over? Or do we have to invest some draft capital there? Can we go and get a free agent, somebody that's going to be reliable, somebody that's going to be out on the field? What does the article have to say? It says right here that the Packers are expected to release Bakhtiari soon, per the Athletics' Matt Schneidman, if that's how you say his name. And then also, so the Athletic is it's a pretty reliable source there at the Green Bay Packer Press Gazette. Ryan Wood also says the whole reason why Bakhtiari hasn't been moved yet, hasn't been cut, is just formality purposes. Packers having to go through that. It also goes on to say right here, the Packers can save nearly $21 million by cutting the 11-year veteran. He is set to count a team high $40 million against the Packers cap this year. One season remains on Bakhtiari's contract. None of this is remaining salary guaranteed, though the Packers have more than $19 million deferred signing bonus set to represent dead money if and when the former 4th-round pick is cut. Okay, so the Packers gave him a 4-year, $92 million extension, and then all crap broke loose when it came to his injuries and all of that stuff. We all know what happened with Bakhtiari. So it leaves us thinking, okay, so what now? What can the Packers expect when they do move on from David Bakhtiari? Okay, so what does that mean for the Green Bay Packers? It means that Rasheed Walker is going to be the guy stepping in to that starting role. Okay, so where do the Packers go from here? Brian Gutekunst. Here's the thing we do know: Rasheed Walker filled in very nicely last season. Yes, he had his hiccups early on throughout the season. Misplays here and there, But Rasheed Walker looks like a very nice piece, and we know that he is still growing. We know that he's still getting better. I personally like Rasheed Walker a lot. I think he's very serviceable. You can move him anywhere on the line, and he adds a whole lot of value there. So I really like Rasheed Walker. It'll be interesting to see where Brian Gutekunst goes from here. Okay, so we know that there are rumors of them going and getting a few free agents out there when we start talking left tackle, or does somebody drop to them in the first round? Somebody that was projected to go higher, does somebody drop to them, and then the Green Bay Packers use one of their first round picks to go and get a left tackle? It will remain to be seen. I think, Brian Gutekunst is notorious for just taking the best guy left, the best guy available on the board. So it'll be interesting to see if he does go the route of taking an O lineman with that first pick. Um, Time will tell. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What are the Packers going to do? So when it comes to David Bakhtiari and his future, so what is next for Bakhtiari? One thing we do know is that he and Aaron Rodgers are besties, and we know that Aaron Rodgers has a whole lot of sway and influence with the New York Jets franchise. With any franchise that Aaron Rodgers goes, he does that. He pushes his way in there and has a whole lot of sway. So I can see David Bakhtiari going to the Jets and look to him to look to the Jets to be the favorite spot for Bakhtiari to go to, for like that bounce back opportunity. I think the Jets will give him that opportunity. Of course, he would have to take a significant pay cut to go and play for the Jets. That being said, I foresee he and Bakhtiari, when I say he, meaning Aaron Rodgers and Bakhtiari, teaming up yet again back in New York. That being said, that's Bakhtiari, but let me know your thoughts. Okay, where do the Green Bay Packers go from here with their offensive line? Do they go and spend some draft capital there? I would personally like to see them forego drafting a offensive lineman in the first round. Really like to see them go safety first, right? Defensive back of some facet with that first pick. I'd really like to see them go that route and then use some of the money they're going to be saving on cutting Bakhtiari to go and get a veteran presence, a veteran name out there just as that fail safe. But I really personally like Rasheed Walker. I think Rasheed Walker proved last season that he can fill that spot pretty well. I think he proved last season that he can step in when called upon and make create some opportunities, create some time for Jordan Love. I think he's got some improving to do when it comes to run blocking, but that's my take on Rasheed Walker. I love the dude. I think they need to just be all in on Rasheed Walker and then use their first round pick to go defense and then take an offensive lineman probably around that third round, late third round. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Go Pack.